The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. At that time, Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a Canaanite woman of that district came and called out, "Have pity on me, Lord, Son of David. My daughter is tormented by a demon." But Jesus did not say a word in answer to her. Jesus' disciples came and asked him, "Send her away, for she keeps calling out after us." He said in reply, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But the woman came and did Jesus homage, saying, "Lord, help me." He said in reply, "It is not right to take the food of the children and throw it to the dogs." She said, "Please, Lord, for even the dogs eat the scraps that fall from the table of their masters." Then Jesus said to her in reply, "O woman, great is your faith. Let it be done for you as you wish." And the woman's daughter was healed from that hour. The Gospel of the Lord. Every once in a while, I like to speak about the question, what is a parish? We all kind of know what it is, but it's helpful sometime to think about it. The word parish actually goes way, way back. It comes from a Greek word for neighbor, no surprise. People who lived near one another. And over the course of time, parishes became the basic sort of small grouping of Catholics around the world. You have parishes, and then you have dioceses, or if it's a big city, archdioceses, and then, of course, the universal church. And for years and years, parishes were very strict with their boundaries. Very strict. You could never join a parish unless you lived inside their official boundaries. I know people who in their day had to move if they wanted to join a different parish. And there were a few exceptions. You had what they used to call national parishes. Those were places which a certain language was spoken. On this side of town, Sacred Heart on the east side, German. You couldn't join Sacred Heart unless you were German. I knew an elderly woman, and she was Irish. She had to prove her husband had a good German name before she could join Sacred Heart. But those things changed when the Code of Canon Law was revised, and so now it's not as strict as that used to be. Again, St. Mark's and St. Paul had the very, very wealthy Texas oil man, I.A. O'Shaughnessy, a member of the parish. He was so rich, of course, he gave lots to the University of St. Thomas, the University of Notre Dame, and he personally paid the tuition of every child that went to St. Mark's grade school. All 1,100 children that attended St. Mark's. So they carved out a new parish, IHM, on Summit Avenue, and all of a sudden I.A. O'Shaughnessy was no longer a member of St. Mark's. Well, they weren't going to put up with that. And to this day, if you look at the official boundary lines of St. Mark's Parish, it goes down, 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 down Summit Avenue, then boop, bumps across to include I.A. O'Shaughnessy's home, and then goes back. Again, times are changing. And now we have people who don't necessarily join a parish inside their boundaries. That's true of Transfiguration. And we also have a set of people who will sometimes attend a parish other than their official parish. We priests have a name for you, by the way. It's a technical 4th century word. The word is floaters. And, I grew up in a floating household. Every once in a while, my dad wanted us all to go across town, not from where we were in Baltimore at All Saints, but to go across to his boyhood parish of St. Ambrose on the other side of Baltimore. And we liked it. It was short, 17 minutes long, in fact. And if any of you are old enough, you'll remember that the old World War II priests, those chaplains, they could say a quick mass. They had to before the bombs started to drop. So my dad always liked to find a church with a World War II chaplain, and we could get through that Mass in 17 minutes. Where did I develop my lifelong love for short Masses? At St. Ambrose. Also, by the way, after the Mass, and by the way, the only people there were the nuns and the Baer family. That was it. But that was fine. We brought our blankets in. You know, the radiators took a while to heat up the big old Gothic church. But the really cool thing was, after it was over, at 17 after 6 a.m., we'd go over to Little Taverns, the East Coast version of your White, what do you call it here? White Castle, yes. And I was always sent in, one of the 7, and there'd be this sleepy African-American woman wiping down the counters. I'd say, "Good morning. I'd like 7 hamburgers and 1 large Coke." She'd say, "What?" But what a joy. So I come from a family of floaters. There's nothing wrong with that. And all of us have reasons to do that. I established this 4th Mass on Sundays here at the Transfiguration about a year after I came here. And I did it because there are just a lot of people who really appreciate having a Mass on Sunday evenings. I had started to do it out at the University of St. Thomas when I was in charge of the seminary. I started what we call the Last Chance Mass there. It's mostly for the football players. And by the time I was leaving there, we had 300 or 400 people there. And the same thing has happened here. This Mass, which has started with, I think, 35 people at the first one, now it's sometimes the biggest of all 4 Masses we have here at Transfiguration. And I know that many people are here tonight. Many people come on Sunday nights who are not members of Transfiguration. And that's just fine. My guesstimate is about 1 out of 5 of you are from some other parish. And that's just fine. Some of you find it a good place to come back from your weekend at the lake. Some parishes don't have a Sunday evening Mass. There are many people who are part of more than one parish. There are people who work downtown and go to Mass at St. Olaf's or Assumption in St. Paul, but they have a suburban parish. Some people, of course, go off to the parish by the lake, or they're snowbirds who go down to Arizona or Florida. My point in saying this is, you're certainly welcome here at any of our Masses, no matter where you're from. You're very, very welcome here. And I just want to say that we at Transfiguration welcome you. We welcome you even to join our parish if God should so lead you. Transfiguration is what I call a meat and potatoes parish. Nothing fancy here. We do what the Catholic Church tells us to do. Period. I know that's not very exciting, but that's who we are. Mass, every day. Confessions, every day. We love the Blessed Mother. We love babies, even babies who cry all the time. We are a meat and potatoes parish. And my goal is that when you come here, you will experience the church doing what it tells us to do. If the church says to kneel during the Eucharistic prayer, I don't care if your custom is to do otherwise. At Transfiguration, we do what the church tells us to do. It ain't that complicated. And the Lord is blessing us with a beautiful parish here. I encourage every one of us, wherever we're from, whatever parish we belong to, let's remember that original word, what parish meant. It meant neighbor. Every Catholic should somewhere be a neighbor. That means something simple like having relationships with one another, serving and volunteering. Sure, putting a buck in the collection plate. It's not free, these lights. But every one of us should make sure that somewhere, even if we attend a variety of parishes, that somewhere we can be neighbor. That's the glory of the Catholic faith. We're not doing it alone. We don't dial in our faith. We do it together. That's what a parish is all about. Welcome to our parish. And whatever parish you belong to, be a neighbor there.